Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And it's Wednesday night. I'm a little bit late, so please forgive me. But once again, we have a security issue, so I had to be late. That's all that can be said. So, once again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And speaking of how you're going to get wealthier before the December 2027 deadline, that's self imposed here at the SSN Nation ownership. Once again, you'll keep hearing me say this for the next year and a half. Ownership. We're going to talk about that. It's mandatory or else. That's right. Or else you're going to get left behind. It's now getting narrower and narrower on what's going to be available in your future. The writing's on the wall. The rich people don't care. The governments don't care. The corporations don't care. They only care about money and making profits. And you are part of the fallout. And they're not giving you anything in return. You're going to have to do it the old fashioned way. Earn it. And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much for being here. And please share the videos, because you know how they do us on social media. You guys can't have this information. Of course, there's a lot of people on here that will tell you the same things I do. But how we start talking about things is just a tad bit differently, because it's strategically putting yourself in position so no matter what happens, you'll be able to survive. And right now, first of all, let's get backwards, go back. 2 years, 7 months ago, we started our 3 year countdown. What were you supposed to do in those 3 years, ending December 31st, 2026? Bank account outside the United States, real estate or business outside the United States, 775 credit score. That's it. That's it. That's all you needed to do. You still have time. You still have the playbook. We always give a runway. The runway is in effect. What do I mean? The deadline, even though we have December 31st as the deadline, reality, you have 4 to 6 months on the other side of there. But it's better to be prepared earlier than later, because when there's fallout, you never know what's going to happen. Let me give you an example. In 2007, what started happening? All of a sudden, you couldn't get loans like you used to. All of a sudden, banks are going to the government saying we have a problem. They go and beg in 2008, said if the banking goes bye-bye, the country goes bye-bye. The government bought it, naturally. So they had to bail them out. Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, or shall I say, hundreds of billions of dollars. You didn't get anything back in return except higher prices, inflation, because they had to print the money to give them that type of bailout, the largest of any kind. Now it's known as the Great Recession. Well, I have bad news for you. If you thought the Great Recession was something, what do you think they're going to call the next one? The 100-year anniversary of the Great Depression is coming up in 3 or 4 years. Think about it. That's right. Are you going to be prepared? It also comes to mind ownership. The world is a global marketplace. So think about that as part of your ownership program. think about it very heavily, because you might want to start considering, what is it going to take if I get sick? If you don't have health care, or the health care that you do have that you don't realize that you pay $200, $300 per month for, if you really get sick and they say, oh, we're not covering everything. And in the case of emergency, is anybody looking around saying, oh, they're in our network that they're sending us? I'm sorry, the man's bleeding out. Are we looking at hospital? Wait, what type of coverage does he have? Pull over on the side. We got to make phone calls. No, they're going to the nearest location to save your ass. So the bottom line to the story, ladies and gentlemen, you could be at a hospital that's not in network. You might have to pay 40, 50, 60% of that nightly charge in emergency. ICU. You don't understand the significance of this. And no fault of your own. It could be a simple accident that can ruin your life. So therefore, you're going to have to start thinking what the country does not have and may not have in the future. Because we are now over $40 trillion in debt. Soon to be, in the next 5 years, $44 trillion. And we're spending $2 trillion that we don't have every year from this administration. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know where this goes? Higher prices. If you don't have ownership, that means you have to rent. Yes, the rent's going up. Oh, by the way, if you have an HOA, your annual or your monthly HOA dues, they're going up. You have electricity, it's going up. You're using oil, gas products, it's going up. Water, it's going up. Food, it's going up. Everything that you need to survive, you have to pay for as a human. Can you believe that? Especially if you live in the United States. Other countries don't cost as much as the United States. United States is on a whole nother level. Things that we pay for one meal, for instance, when you go to a restaurant, one meal with a drink, an appetizer, and dessert, what are they now these days? 40, 50 bucks? 60? Do you know that you can go eat for 40, 50, 60 bucks? You better bring some other people with you if you're outside the United States in a lot of locations. 80% of the other parts of the world, you could have 3 or 4 friends with you and it won't cost you 50 bucks. Do you understand? So once again, I hope I have your attention, because nobody is coming to save you. Not on this planet. You're here to fend for yourself. So just keep that in mind. EV Place is in the house. Another investor's here. He understands the assignment, I'm sure, and he's doing the damn thing. And he also has that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. That means he's a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen. And he brings his tagline, and welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And the tagline reads, good evening, SSN. I hope you all are doing well. That's right. I hope you all are doing well right now. But yesterday's price is not going to be next month's price. And if you haven't got your new energy bills, depending on where you live, or your new insurance bills, depending on where you live, your property tax bills, good luck. Nobody's coming to help you. You can say all this garbage you want to say. The best place to live is in the United States. You can say that. But that's only if you never have traveled around the world. Because right now, I don't know about you, but people getting kidnapped and killed in the streets, I think there's a lot of other countries that you could be in that won't happen. Just saying. All right. Nice to see you, EV Place. Post-retirement travel, another investor's in the house, another person that has that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. We have a lot to talk about, and he brings his tagline, the investor, the real estate investor. Oh, by the way, that is the SSN Nation plan. He's done it. Bank accounts outside the U.S., real estate or business outside the U.S., 775 credit score. This man, EV Place, all these guys are on track, because when things fall down, you better believe you might need credit. So that's why we had to have the 775. It's based on certain things that's going to happen. But welcome once again, post-retirement travel. And he brings his tagline, hello all, let's do this. That's what we do here. We try to get you up to speed, because you have to understand the assignment. There's a lot of people out of here just willy-nilly going on about their business, not even realizing the cost of living has increased dramatically. And you're thinking 3%, 5%, 8%. You know, it's kind of funny. What if I told you something crazy? 1980. It's 1980. Just go back in time. Just pretend like it's 1980 and you get paid $7 an hour. All right? And your boss, the CEO, you know, he got $100,000 was his annual salary. $100,000 to $150,000. Fast forward to 2026. As workers, you get $7.85 now. That's right, over 40 plus years. But you know, funny thing, the CEO, he doesn't just get $150,000. CEO now gets 760% more. So that means they get like $900,000 a year, while you still got $7.85. Do you see a problem here, Americans? I know some people are going to go, Eric, that's just minimum wage. You're damn right that's minimum wage. The point I'm trying to say is $7 times 700% is what they should be making. You should be making. So the fact that their went up 760%, if yours went up 760%, which is 7.5 times, 7 times 7 is 49. A half of 7, so they're at 50. Ladies and gentlemen, $50 per hour is about right. That's what you should be making per hour in America. Do you understand that there's been a big thing where you have a lot of people who make less than $50 per hour? What does that end up? That's 2 G's a week. That's about right. I think everybody would be happier with $96,000 a year, $94,000 a year, $100,000 per year right about now, wouldn't you? I'm pretty sure. Do you understand? You're missing the assignment. And yet, we have people over here cheering, saying the CEO and his corporation should get tax cuts, tax breaks, subsidies. Why? They've outpaced everybody, 760%. But you don't deserve no tax cut, tax breaks, nor subsidies? But wait, you're paying the taxes. They're paying less. And you're paying into Social Security. They're paying less because Social Security is capped. I hope you did not know this. It's capped. So you can only pay up to X, a few $100,000. So even if you make $10 million, it's still capped. You're not paying into the Social Security system. I think it used to be 250. I should have checked it before I came on. But nonetheless, it's capped. So while all your money goes into the Social Security, after it reaches a certain number, they don't have to pay into it anymore. So then you have these guys right now in Capitol Hill talking about, oh, we got to raise the age for you to get your Social Security. Oh, we don't have enough money for Medicare and Medicaid. See, ladies and gentlemen, Do you understand? Good luck, Americans. Number 2. This is part 2. Let's go. Here we go. Brian P. Mr. Dividend is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he brings his tagline, keep up great works. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It looks like no retirement for me. By the way, I was going to retire this year, but hey, what else am I going to do? Because I still have a calling. I have to kick their ass. And these guys have been revamping everything. What do I mean? The gatekeepers, the guys, Google, Apple, Meta, all these guys, they done, oh my God. They're trying to figure out how to put their own imprint, own ecosystem on all of you. So if you're an Apple person, you're going to stay Apple. If you're a Google person, Android, you're going to stay that. If you're something else, they're trying to lock you in a box to make you use all of their stuff. You would not believe I was using an Apple phone today. I'm not down with Apple. I'm going to tell you why. Because it's very simple. They've been gatekeepers from the start. Apple, again, they have an ecosystem. So when Apple came out in the 80s, they made sure that everything had to tie into their Apple universe. So that meant you had to use Apple or not at all. That means you don't have any flexibility. You only have so much. So today, I had the unfortunate experience of using an Apple phone. People are like, I love the Apple phone. I love it. I like it. It's beautiful. It's awesome. It's this, that, and the other. I'm sitting there looking at stuff and I'm like, am I serious right now? I can't just go back to where I just came from. I don't even know what Apple I was using. All I know is it was probably a newer phone because the person usually has these newer things. It could have been a year old, 2 years old, but I'm still like, this is crazy right now. On the keyboard, I'm sitting in there like, where's the .com? I'm like, what's going on here? Where's the comma? Where's the hashtag? All that, not on the keyboard. I got to go to another, put in special characters. All kind of crazy. Just on that alone. I was like, this can't be happening right now. This is what is going on? So I had to give the person back their phone. I said, here, you need to talk to customer service about your problem because I don't know how to navigate through your phone because I'm trying to find your email because I got to send them a picture. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? This is ridiculous. Okay, that's my rant. But the point I'm trying to make is the ecosystems that Apple has done in the past is the same thing that everybody else is going to try to do to keep you within their platform. Because they own the platform, they own everything in it. Now you're thinking like you should be thinking, I hope, because once you understand that they're putting ownership in a box. So if you want to play with them, you're going to play within a box. Some of them, not all of them. So therefore, you better find out what you can own that you can license, lease, sell, or have a monthly membership for or annual membership for. That's what you're going to have to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you love to do, you better start figuring out because you better have some ownership because the only thing that's going to be left is peanuts. Robots are here. In manufacturing facilities or not. You're getting the picture yet. Once you have less and less manufacturing facilities, which is what's going on right now, in the last 2 years, it's just a travesty. Hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs have gone bye-bye. And those are livable wage jobs for the most part. So now you have even more hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people living not on livable wages. You can't live anywhere. You know what? On Friday, you guys got to come back for the 3rd because on Friday, I'm just going to show you the charts that actually show you how much you have to make to live in a freaking 1-bedroom apartment. And guess what? It's not $10 an hour. It's not $15 an hour in any state. It's not 20 in any state. That's how bad this is. So you can think about where are the cheapest places to live. Of course, that might mean you get to pay $25 an hour to live in a 1-bedroom, but let's face facts. How many of you can even do that? A 1-bedroom apartment in a lot of places costs 2 G's, $1,800, $1,600. You can start doing the numbers. So again, you better own something. So let's get down because we have a lot more to talk about. How about that stock market? We know what's happening. Here it is, beautiful. There is blood in the market. Be the shark. He's right. I am obsessed. Can't stop buying. I knew he's going to say it. Hey, what about the people with crypto right now? What's up? Well, I'm not hearing nobody talking about let's get crypto at 60 some thousand. It was 125, 126 like a year and a half ago. Now it's half price, but usually in the past, people would be like, crypto, crypto, crypto. Well, I think it's about time you realize what crypto really is. It's just another form of money, but it's not money. Just saying. So the only people that can win with that is you better come up with a coin. But then again, you better sell it as soon as possible. You know, like the Trump kids did on their coin. Lost value of 79%. Because just like NFTs, just like everything else, that does not seem to hold value. It's not really an asset, even though they tried to make it an asset. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, how about that stock market? Stock market, by the way, is a form of ownership because you own a piece of the corporation. A piece of the corporation can give you dividends, can appreciate in stocks. Your stock price goes up. That's appreciation. You can have a situation like now where there's blood in the streets and you have to make a financial decision. Does that mean this is a good time to buy or should I wait? But ownership is not all bad. You have an opportunity. You can buy some low price dividend stocks right now, like Mr. Dividend, Brian P. does. You could do that. This would be a perfect opportunity. And Brian P., did you get my email? I sent you my phone number, man. So let me know. Sooner or later, we're going to the moon is exactly the key phrase. You guys, you have to understand what the Federal Reserve is here for. It's here to help investors of the stock market. It's not here to do anything else. And, well, I shouldn't say not here to do anything else. What they're here to do is to make sure the economy can be in an equilibrium of some sort. So now the fact that the stock market's going down, there will be no tax, they won't be reducing the federal funds rate. The interest will not go down. In fact, I'm still trying to figure out how bad are they going to hurt American citizens. See, you guys don't understand that inflation takes away your buying power. Inflation costs you money. That's all there is to it. I don't even care if it's 2% or 3%. You just lost buying power. Not only have you lost buying power, you're going to lose a whole lot more because all your expenses have to rise. Just remember this. There's a correlation. This is mathematics 101. Just like my old adage I used to share. If we're playing Monopoly and one person, which is the end game for Monopoly, is able to have all of the property or the majority of the property, the game is pretty much over because every time somebody lands, they got to pay him. But the problem is, just like real life, if you run out of money, you have nothing to pay, game over. Unless, of course, you're here in the SSN Nation and you know about findhelp.org. And you go over there and put in your zip code and find out where you can get some help, free help on a lot of occasions, and on some, a little bit of help. That's why you pick up the phone and make the phone call. Some people will say there's no charge at all because they get money. It's a nonprofit. They get money from the state and federal governments. So you go to findhelp.org. I'm not joking. It's real. Go to findhelp.org, put in the zip code, and see what they have for you. It could be help with rent, help with mortgage, help with maybe jobs, job training, caregiving that you might not be able to afford. And they might have caregivers for you. Might be a subway pass. Down payment on a house. I mean, health care. It depends. Closer to the city you are, the better services that will be available. But see, that's just it, ladies and gentlemen. Because sooner or later, you're going to have to pay more money. Think about this in a direct correlation. If a corporation is able to get tax cut, tax break, subsidies, and they don't have to make as much profit, then that also means by default, they don't have to pay people more money to work there either. They can pay lower wages. See, you guys don't think about the full Monty. You don't think about the whole game plan. You also understand that they don't have to reduce prices either because they got tax cut, tax breaks, and subsidies. Free money. So any money that they normally would have lost because people would have said, you know what, this is too expensive, F that. They'd say, they don't have to worry about it. They got a few $billion from taxpayers, not government. I was going to say government, taxpayers, that's you. See, they own something. Just keep this in mind. You have to go there and buy in order to live in America. Because in America, we're spoiled. You're not going to live in tents. Are you? That would be considered homeless now. In other countries, that would be looked upon as, I got a roof over my head. You see, there's a marked difference. Third world countries, people would live in tents, grow their own food. America, they said, oh, wait, I don't even know how to grow food. You see where this goes, right? This is going to end badly. But you have to put yourself in position. Ownership is the only way out of this. So there's other forms of ownership besides the stock market, obviously. But the stock market, and like I was beginning to say, the Federal Reserve's job is to make sure that they keep the economy in equilibrium, because the only way the stock market can grow is with people being able to buy items, because there's corporations. If you can't buy the corporation's goods and services, they go bye-bye, which is what's going to happen, in my humble opinion, in about a year and a half or so. And so therefore, you're going to be in a world of hurt if you don't have an alternative. And ownership is one of them, because there's certain things that cannot be taken away. So if you have a patent, right? Some of you are very smart that's watching this. You have a patent, you don't have a problem. You just have to figure out how to license it, lease it, do whatever, or utilize it, or let somebody else use it and market it, do whatever. Either way, you got to figure out these things. You have books to write. That's copyright materials. That's something you can do. You have a website, a domain. That is actually copyrightable. Speaking of that, I don't mean copyrightable, but if that's even you can't copyright. But the domain name itself is property. It's real estate. All right? Just remember that. And so by default, the same thing applies for a .crypto, a .nft name. Okay? Just remember that. So I'm going to be putting in the chat room Unstoppable Domain. All right? There's going to be a link for that you guys can hear. I'll put it in the chat room. Go get your domain name. It's 10, 20, 15 bucks, and you don't have to pay an annual fee like you would stopstrugglingnow.com. All right? So go get it. It's on the web. It's the Web3. You mint it, so you own it. Nobody can take it down. Like an ISP taking down websites, that's not going to happen. You see how this works? Government coming in, taking down your website? Nope, sorry, can't do it. Because that's ownership. You can utilize that to also make money. You can build a 2, 3, 4, 5-page website on there. There's other things that Unstoppable Domain has as well. So again, you have an opportunity. That's ownership. Domain names are ownership. All that is real estate. That's ownership. It's up to you to monetize it, though. All right? So think about it. We talked about patents. We talked about domain names. We talked about .crypto, .nft, .bitcoin wallet, there's a bunch of them, .x, and a lot more. Go to Unstoppable Domain. Get your domain. It's 10, 15, 20 bucks. They have specials every now and then. 2 for 30, 2 for 30, 2 for 20, whatever. They have specials. So go over there, sign up. And even if it's not a special, $15, $10, one-time payment to have your name. Yes, I do have ericbird.crypto. Yes, there's stopstrugglingnow.crypto, ssnlifestyle.crypto, my daughter's names.crypto, all of it. Of course, I went on a buying spree because you never know what's going to happen with crypto. So I felt if it's just $10 a name, at the time, it was worth spending 70, 80, $100. Come on, let's get real. ssnlifestyle.crypto, ssnlifestyle.nft. That's right. All of it. ericbird.crypto, ericbird.nft. I know, it's crazy. But I said you might as well have it because if you can put it on the web, I mean on the crypto, on the blockchain, and then because they're going to eventually figure out a way to process things on the blockchain, they might have already. I just never did anything with it. But since I don't have to pay an annual fee, there's no reason for me to do anything with it until they get up to speed. But at least you have real estate. That's ownership in the true fashion. You understand? So now that I moved into Web3, we have that type of scenario that's available to you. Then the next thing, obviously, is now when you make a website, you have the source code, right? Remember that. No matter what you make with your computer is a source code. Who's going to own the source code? Because who owns the source code is the person that has the ownership. So keep that in mind. Okay? So now you say, hey, think about some things like what I was talking about on Monday, ownership again, the books, the audio files, anything you put on your camera. You can publish everything, books, audio files, everything. Publish it so people know you own the rights to it. Just like when you think about this, in the old days, magazines was very popular. And they would have pictures. Like most people always like those people. What was those? People magazines, the ones on the stand. There'd be pictures in there that was salacious, right? So what would happen is at the bottom of the, or the little part of the corner, it would always have who it went to. Do you guys, maybe in this day and age, you guys may not be familiar with the people that take photographs. They are for sale. So when somebody's going down the red carpet, and all them people are on the red carpet snapping, right? Because the person took the photo, they own it. They can put it on Getty Images, for instance, and sell it, or put it on their own website and sell it for guess who? The news stations, the news magazines, the entertainment stations, entertainment magazines. That's right, they get paid. They license the photo. That's right, you can sell the photo. You take your pick. You don't want to license it? You want to just give it to the person? Fine, but you better have restrictions. I'm just saying. So the best thing to do is lease it. For one time, one location, or whatever, however you want to do it, you make the rules. And then when you make the rule, you go, you know what? If you want to be able to use this photo, you got to pay me every year this number. You see how this works? Licensing, leasing, annual fee to use things, ownership. Are you getting the picture? Okay. I like you nodding out there. All right, make sure, no matter what you do, smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. How did you like those emails? I didn't check the emails today, Brian P. I'll get to it in a second. James Way, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline, hello all, hope all is well. That rent is still too damn high. Oh, it's not coming down. It's not coming down. Hey, today I got, on social media, something came by and I just started laughing. A lot of you out here, you have HOAs, right? So the HOA earlier this year sent out a letter to this, I think they're in Florida. They sent out to them, hey, Your HOA has went up $350 more per month. Well, guess what just happened a week ago? HOA sends out another, we're at their meeting. The meeting comes up in July. The HOA gets up there, the board gets up there and says, hey, we're going to have to raise your HOA another $350. You know what happens when a lot of people are already on the edge? 80% of people watching this is living paycheck to paycheck during the month. It went down accordingly. The people erupted in, what the hell are you talking about? We just paid an extra $350. Now it's another $350. It's $700 a month. What the frick are you talking about right now? Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's going down. Remember, I got to give credit where credit is due. Post-retirement travel did mention on Monday, energy bills have doubled. You also know what else has went up? Insurance, property taxes, all that's going to affect an HOA. And also the cost to drive, the maintenance crew, the security, their gas bills have increased. Therefore, they have to charge you more. The lawn care guys, they have to charge you more. Do you see it's a snowball effect? Because you don't own nothing. You're in an HOA, you don't own anything other than you think you own your house. But again, that is not true. That's a liability because you don't own anything because your property taxes are going up. If you don't pay your property taxes inside an HOA and then you don't pay your HOA fees, they're going to try and take your property. After a few years, of course. But still, they're going to if you don't pay. So that's how it works no matter where you live. So, inside of America, that is. So just keep that in mind. That's why we don't say owning a house is ownership here. It's a liability. Just where it sits, it's a liability because here in the SSN Nation, in case you're new here, an asset pays you while you're doing the salsa dance, while you're on vacation. You don't tend to it, except for a little bit, of course. But generally, you're making money while you're out having fun. You're not dedicated 6, 12, 15, 16 hours a day, overtime and all that jazz, at the whim of your company. No. See, that's the difference. Just like a vehicle is a liability. Now, the only way they're not liabilities is if you turn it into making money without you having to work for it. The criteria. Because again, nobody's coming to save you in this lifetime. All right, James Way, very nice to see you once again. Okay, I got your email. Thank you. EV Place, I'm happy with my 3% a month dividend from XRPM ETF. It's backed up with 10 XRP and it's holding that price. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. EV Place is giving you a powerful dividend, which we did not know. We haven't talked about dividends in a minute, but hey, you know what? If you're new here, that's why you always have a pen, pad, and paper, because we have an awesome chat room and we have investors in the house. 3% dividend with everybody on podcast, XRPM ETF, 3% a month. That's 36. That is 36% annually is definitely good, especially since inflation is not really 3 or 4%. Which, by the way, why hasn't I don't understand. What happened? I thought when we had inflation at 3% or more, the Federal Reserve is supposed to increase the federal funds rate. But you know what is increasing? Bonds are increasing. Does anybody know what happens when bonds rise? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll make this easy for you. Good thing or bad thing? bad thing. You know why? Because that means in order to borrow, the interest rates increase. And that's for corporations as well. This is why they need the Federal Reserve to reduce the federal funds rate for their in house deals. But now, citizens and everybody else, the borrowing rate rises. That means nobody's going to be buying a house anytime soon because that interest rate is not coming down. In fact, they're going up. So if you thought 1 in 7 homes, I won't get into it, will not sell in a certain state, what do you think is going to happen right now when the bond rate has risen? That means the mortgage rates have risen. You see how this works? This is not good for anybody. And there's no way to stop it. Because unfortunately, we have a war to tend to. Money out of thin air has to be printed. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a wild ride. But a 3% a month dividend with the price that holds a true 36%, whether, you know what, let me go look it up right now. Let me go look this up. What is that? Wait. Okay. XRP price. What is XRP these days anyhow? Oh, seriously? Are you serious? It's $1.06. Let's see what's been happening over the last year. I thought it was like a stablecoin-esque. But if it stays at around 106 or 103, yeah. Okay, I went to 6 months. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's dropped $44.72% in the past 6 months. In the Oh no, it's dropped. In the last February 26th through July 28th, it's $26. I mean, 26.22%. In the last, hold on. This month, increased 2.5. Okay. And then if you go back to June, June 11th till July 28th. Oh, 20. Wait, why does it say 20? Oh, okay, never mind. It's past midnight or something somewhere. That's weird. Anyhow, July 28th, it says negative 3.58. So I don't know about how much stable it is. Let me go check something else. Year over year. Ooh, this is not good. Some people have that XR. Oh, I know why. Sorry. I'm on XRP. I need to be in XRPM. Let's go see what XRPM's been doing. That was XRP has lost 66% of its value year over year. That's not a winner. But 3% monthly option. Oh, the trading. They're doing the trading formula. Okay, this isn't doing much better. Quite frankly. It's not. It's been stable for a month, almost 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. It's been pretty close to stable. But when XRP drops 66, 67%, that's hefty. I see Amplify also has Ethereum. They have Solana. They all went up today, except, hold on, what did this do? 0.27. But either way, you're going to have to do your own due diligence. Let's see, do they count this as a dividend? No, they don't, because they're doing option trading, it looks like. That looks interesting. It's up there, but will it be worth it? You have to do your own research, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Nay is in the house. welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He's chilling on the island with ownership, ladies and gentlemen. And he brings his tagline this evening. What's happening tonight, everybody? I hope everybody is okay. Save yourself. That's exactly right. MDA0214 is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream along with Joe Nay as well. And he says, why put your money into something so risky for 3% per month, 36% per year? You might as well pick something more stable for 3% like SCHD. Yeah, SCHD doesn't do monthly, but you do have a point though, because it is option income trading, and the stock market, depending on how it behaves, because it should have, like what's happening now, right? A nosedive. Well, it's blood in the streets. So therefore, option trading is based on that because it's based on revenue coming from trades, and you have to understand how it works. So with that said, 3% like SHD, that's 3% annually. SHD doesn't do 3% monthly. That's a whole nother ball game. 3% does not even cover inflation at this point. But it is risky with the option incomes. We do know that. He is correct about that. Joe Nay says, what's happening? Oh, I skipped somebody. Is that what happened? Let's go look. Yeah, I guess I did. He says it right here. Joe Nay says, guess what? I just smashed that like button. Thank you so much for that, man. Let's go. I got a good number of shares with SCHD. Got that quarterly dividend reinvested in June. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Exactly. That is post-retirement travels. He's always put SCHD. I can't even remember all the ones before. What was the ones? He would go, well, we already know we got to do the Vanguard group, right? Come on. We got to do them. I'm trying to think of the other one that he always had with SCHD. I can't remember what they were. He used to have his thing in there. But again, this is why you got to write down with your pen, pad, and paper, ladies and gentlemen, because we out here trying to get you ownership. Ownership also means your own business. There's several things, but see, your own business is high risk. That usually means you have to do it. So now you have to flip the script somehow. But unfortunately for many, you don't have the skill sets or the way to do it. So therefore, you might have to do your own thing, but it's high risk. 9 out of 10 fail. And in the second year, 9 out of 10 of those that stayed afloat fail. It's very hard because the economy, there's nothing you can do about it. So that means you have to figure out a way to be above the economy. How can you be above the economy? Well, we talked about a few things. If you can copyright something and then you can figure out how you can monetize it, but then again, the monetization rails are held by somebody else, just like what's happening right now as we're streaming to several different platforms. There's ads that come across. The people that have the ads coming across are the ones that's going to make the bulk of it because we're on their platform that they own. Ownership. So now when advertisers want to show it to people that are watching this live stream, then all of a sudden they make the money. They give us a little bit of the, well, they give me nothing. I get paid a check once every 6 months. But nonetheless, I'll get paid twice this year, which is interesting. But nonetheless, over 1,000 videos. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, so here's what we do. We have to figure out some other way that they don't get a cut. Now, again, I don't really know what YouTube gives. I don't really know what anybody. All I know is I think TikTok, this is, don't take my word for it, you can Google it. I think TikTok gives people like 30%, maybe 40, because I think 30% is so low, it's ridiculous. So let's say 40. YouTube, I think, is 55%, something of these natures. It's not like a lot. It's not like you're getting 90%. It's not like you're getting 80%. So those are the things that you have to think about. They're the ones with the ownership, and by us giving them content, they get to make money and they didn't have to produce the content. All they had to do was tell an advertiser, hey man, we got 283 million people that watch our stuff. And you got to pay us checks if you want to roll your advertisement across our platform. That's ownership, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand? So now you can also formulate, like we have super chats and you have memberships and things of this nature. So they get a piece of that too, the same percentage. So anytime people donate, anytime people do anything like that, no, you donate to somebody $10. Well, on I think on YouTube it might be, like I said, I think you get $4.50 or something of that nature. So because they own it. You get it? All right, let's see what else we got going on. Joe Nay says, Eric, I've been procrastinating. Everyday vacation. I'm definitely going up to cruise on land in Larimar City. I'm just trying to figure out, can you really get in Larimar City? Really? I think they done got you. I think they got it under lockdown, man. Yeah, these guys are diabolical. They're supposedly going to deliver December 2026, which is a fantasy. And by the way, they're pressuring me because I asked about that addendum. What happened? They're like, hey, man, you ain't paid since 2023. I said, or was it 20? Yeah, 2023 or 4. It was 2023. That's correct. Well, at least that's what they're saying. But I think it was 2024. And I better not say the rest. But the point is, they sent me a letter saying, Eric, we have got to have delivery December 2026. You're in default. We're going to send you to our legal team if we can't figure out what you're going to do. And I sat there and I still have the same point of view. They said, oh, we're going to deliver, so we want you to pay before. We're not going to let you pay 4 or 5 months later. We want you to pay like now. Half of what you would have paid. Now, I have to say, everything was going well until they gave me the news that I'm not liking. 25% off the top gross for their management fee. You know what? I can't remember. They sent me a long thing today, which I'm going to have to follow up. Oh, they gave me a deadline of this tomorrow, the 28th. If we don't meet our agreement, they're going to send me over to their legal team, which, okay, we'll deal with them too. Um, where's my thing at? Hold up. I got something from them today, didn't I? Yes, I did. I was going to give you guys a thing because a lot of you own at Larimar. And, wait, where is it? What the heck? This is strange. A lot of you own at Larimar, so you would be, you might want to know about this. Why is this? Today's the 27th. Huh. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, wait, they sent me something else. I didn't realize that. I was on my phone. So I don't know what they sent me. Let's see. Okay. This is what people will want to. Oh, they sent me a rental management program. It a single accountable operator. Oh, dang. This is seemingly like we won't be able to rent it ourselves, which defeats the whole purpose. Maximum income, flexible use, like AI wrote this. You're not telling me anything here. Maximum income. What are you talking about? Greater control over availability. You decide when to use it and when to rent it. Okay, first of all this is fluff because the next question they said is the program does not operate as a rental pool, which, okay, that's great. The conditions regarding the owner's personal use of the unit will form part of the final agreement because they do not have a rental management agreement as we speak, July 2027, 2026. July 27th, 2026. The rental management agreement is still being finalized and will be shared with all owners once it has been approved. Do you understand? They are talking about delivery in less than 5 months, and they don't even have a rental management agreement in place. What does that tell me? That tells me obviously they're not delivering December 2026. So they have no reason, just like they weren't going to. Here's the thing, remember, they were supposed to deliver in September of 2025. They were supposed to deliver the Horizon 1 in March. Well, actually, it was September as well originally. Then they moved it to March for new people. Now, so I'm trying to figure out how you don't have rental management agreement after 4 years goes by. I don't understand. This is making zero sense. But they don't have one because they knew they weren't never going to deliver at these time frames. Anyhow, I'm sorry. Short-term rental, they have it right here. Fee, 25% of the gross income generated. And then beside it, they have, you know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm a big fan hold on. I'm doing two things right now because I'm going to put the PDF up so you guys can see it. I can't give it to you, unfortunately, but it's another thing. If you're in our SSN Lifestyle WhatsApp group, then I'll load it up. You guys will be able to get it. All right. And down below in the description box after the live stream, you'll be able to get the link to the WhatsApp group. All right. It's SSN Lifestyle, by the way. All right. Just so you know. Okay. The conditions regarding the owner's personal use of the unit will form part of the final agreement. So they don't even have that. So again, by the way, a sample agreement will be distributed once the legal approval process has been complete. Basically, none of my questions can be answered at this time, and it's not possible to provide estimated rental rates as operations have not yet begun. Rates will depend on market conditions at the time of delivery. Okay, listen. If you were delivering, let's just say 500 units, let's just say 200 units, it's going to be in a rental pool, and you're going to claim it's going to be delivered in December 2026. Do you think you should be telling somebody near August 1st this type of stuff? How confident would you be that these guys are going to, what are they talking about? 4 months to go, according to them, is going to be delivery of some units. And they're giving me, they don't know anything right now. And then, of course, they go into my balance and they want to see my additional payments. And unfortunately, I just got to tell you, I'm upset because I've been running through the house looking for my file folders. They're missing. There's something's missing. I can't find them. So now that means I could have lose out on some other additional funds. If, again, I want my money back at this point. This is what I was afraid of. There's several things I was afraid of because from the get-go, they never told us about the rental program. And here it is 4 years later, and we still don't really know anything other than 25%. All right. So let me get out of here right now because you guys will see what we're doing in a second. All right. Don't worry about it, man. Missed a per month. That's actually good. Yes, MDA, it's good, but unfortunately, it's losing money. Post-retirement travel on point. SPY, QQQ, VOO, SCHD, VTI. Can't go wrong with these as long-term investing. They all pay quarterly dividends as well. Don't need to complicate it. Keeping it simple. You're damn right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Like we always say, keep those pen, pads, and papers ready because you never know what is going to happen. Wait a minute. Let me go. I got to go find something here. I know what it is. I got to do several things at once. So please forgive me as I scroll about because I realized I made it a PDF. So now I got to load it up, open it up so we can all see the PDF because this will be the first time. I don't even know if anybody even has this, which is weird. I mean, I don't even know if any owners have it because nobody knows about even the 25% as far as I know. Until I mentioned it in the group just the other day, and they're like, and some people are thinking it's okay. I don't think it's okay. I'm just telling you straight up. Off of gross. So the reason why this matters, you guys understand, DR is now talking about they need to put short-term rentals under some sort of oversee project. So I'm trying to figure out, what does that mean? It's one thing to have laws. They can't enforce it. Their judicial system is not up to par. They can't enforce this, even no matter what they do. So the only way you can enforce it is making people pay more money. You can't enforce none of their rules. They don't have police or any eviction people coming out. Their process takes months to do anything in their judicial system. So I don't know what their enforcement is going to be. I do know this. Whatever you charge, Airbnb's tacking on 15%, and you don't get that 15%. And then you get minus your 3%. So it doesn't matter, I guess, so much that if the person's paying 1,500, you were only supposed to get whatever you charged anyhow. They just tack on the 15%. So that's fine. But what if Airbnb, what if DR all of a sudden does what other countries have done? Well, you owe us VAT, tax, and you got to tack on like in Vegas, 11, 12, 13% tax. Now all of a sudden that's going to be an additional 20. I'm not saying that because they do have a national 18% tax. I'm just saying these guys might go rogue. And if they go rogue, this is going to be very bad because you're not going to be able to take, if again, we talked about this before. If they said 18% is what their fee's going to be, the island, and then you have to add 50, that's 33%. That's insane. I'm not saying they're doing it, but just this is in mind because this affects people who's going to have delivery. This affects people who has had delivery right now. If all of a sudden you wake up and these guys start talking about even 10%, it doesn't matter because if you have a management company, 25%, and then they charge 10%, that's 35% gone. And then after that, you're taking expenses. And expenses aren't going to be cheap either. So you're going to have to start thinking, holy smokes. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let me know what you guys are thinking as we're talking about this. All right. I don't mean to get in this, but this is part of the ownership process. These are not condo hotels. Just remember that. Where you staying again? You own there, right? I'm not going to own at Larimar after this though, because again, you know what I realized after all this time, right? I'm sitting here like, I'm sitting here thinking, why am I dealing with these people? I mean, first, it's all love. We're like, they're talking about all these things they're going to do, grandiose ideas. They say they can make it happen. They say they've built stuff all over the world. We come to find out that's not true. They said that we're on the Spanish stock exchange, and I'm like, okay, but why are you selling bonds in Panama then? I mean, what are we talking about here? This is crazy. So I'm like, things aren't what they appear. Then we see the Farallon, and all of a sudden they're talking about, well, we don't have levels. We don't have this, that, and the other. We're gonna change. First phase ain't first phase that we talked about. We're gonna throw a 9-hole golf course on the Farallon now. We're not gonna have those bungalows over water and the 5-star hotels. They are talking about Sonesta and the James Place or whatever. And I'm like, Sonesta only has like 2 international hotels, and none of them are 5-star. They charge more money, but they're not 5-star. All right, let's just call it what it is. The same type of furniture that they want us to buy for the furniture package is weak, nauseating. So again, Eric, Larimar sounds like a condo hotel. Exactly. Did you sign up for that on your contract? Apparently we did. Even I did not realize it because it has funny, funky language. The reason why I didn't realize it is because it said, like we thought, that we can get approval. Okay, here's how it was talked about, but actually in the contract it says They have the right of first refusal. In fact, you know what? Hold on. I'll give you the exact wording. So here's what happened. Daniel Malky, Gennaro was on our live streams. We always asked, what's the deal with us being able to rent? Originally, it was, oh, you can do Airbnb. No problem. You can do your own short-term rentals. 2023, 2020, late 2023, it changed into, even though the contract says this, though. So they were saying one thing to mimic the contract, but, and the fact that they were saying, oh, you can't do your own short-term rentals, how it ends up being, but you can have your own management company, approved management company from us, and we'll allow you to be managed by somebody else. That's how they deemed it verbally. So when you have a contract that reads like this, right? I'm about to read it now because I actually had to do some stuff. Where is it? Oh, did I erase it? Oh, don't tell me I erased. Oh, tell me I erased it. I didn't erase it. Hold on a second. I'll tell you. In fact, I think I put it. Where did I put it at? I put it in several places. Yeah, let me go pull it up. Here's what it says. So now that you know the preview, here's what happened in contract. It said, holiday rentals. Agree that if the beneficiary decides to rent the apartment, he commits to offer them first to the society assigned by the owner for these purposes. Then it says, however, if the beneficiary, which is me, decides to choose another commercial society than the one assigned by the owner, the administrator of the holiday rentals of the apartment, he must receive a written letter from Larimar as sign of approval in order to maximize the holiday rentals of Project Larimar and Resort. So they were marketing this as, we can tell them we don't want to use them, and as long as we choose who they has already given approval to, they would sign off. Now it turned into something different. Now it's turned into, yeah, we're going to do the rentals at 25%. And yes, you can submit who you want to be your property manager, but we have to give you written approval. That's much different than what they said, and much different than what it made seem like it was just benign. Like, okay, tell us who it was you're going to approve. Maybe I'll go with them. Because I don't want to pay 25%. Just put it this way. I'm not paying 25%. Let's just put it that way. Not going to happen. Eric, you probably could have stayed at the beach project. Those are going very well every time I go to Punta Cana and drive by. Yes. Yes, the beach. I don't know what you mean by very well, though. That's the problem. I don't know what that means. If you mean that it's full or something of that nature, then okay, I'll give you that. If you mean that we're getting our 0.1%, 0.01% that we purchased it for, meaning if the week is $1,000 for the 2-bedroom, that would have been $130, then that would be good. If you mean that we're only getting $500, $600 for the week, I'm not happy. Because we know what the occupancy rates are not 70% or 60 or even 50%. And the HOAs are more than $3 per square feet, by the way. Just so you know. In fact, some people are paying $4 and $5 per square meter. Sorry, per square meter, not per foot. So, yeah, that's expensive. And again, I don't know wait a minute. Since you're talking about it, I do know the occupancy rate. But we'll get to that in a second. But this isn't about that. This is ownership, ladies and gentlemen. This is the things that we have to deal with out here when you do want to own something. All right, let's go. Eric, that's lawyer talk. Who in the hell is going to understand that? Too damn confusing. I know, man. That's what it is. But see, that's the problem. In person, they came on our live streams and said, oh, yeah, you can do short term rentals initially. Then it turned into, oh, well, you know, we're going to have a management company, but we're going to let you guys have your own management company, but it has to be on our approved list of management companies. So I was like, okay, because I can go talk to them. I'll be like, hell no, you ain't charging me no 25%. In fact, I was thinking about the other day, I was like, what am I even thinking? Why would I pay somebody 20%? This is not 1990. This ain't 1960 or 70 where the property manager actually had to put ads in a newspaper, had to actually have connections to get renters. There wasn't none of these digital things you have now. And there was nothing other than there was no real booklets. There was no apartment.com booklet, apartments for rent booklets. Those didn't even exist in the 80s. They started breaking those out in the late 90s. So and the internet wasn't in use at all. So you couldn't just get people. You had to have an ad in a newspaper that they charged a fee or a display ad. So this thing wasn't available where you could just put up something on the internet and all of a sudden have people coming to rent. That wasn't an option. Right now, it's all digitals, pretty much. Websites and your connections with travel agencies and things like this potentially, but you're not doing anything that Airbnb, VRBO, Vacata, and all these guys aren't doing. Everybody can have a website right now. Every agency can make deals. So I'm like, why am I even thinking about even paying 25, 20, even 15? Or my thing is, back in the day, just so everybody knows, I paid 10%, which was even high. But my property manager had like 5, 6, 7, 8 properties for me. He managed all of them. I felt it was worth 10% because back in the day, there was no digital payments. People had to mail checks or he had to go pick up money. He had to literally go there for maintenance issues to go look at it and see the maintenance man and go through the place and get me the quotes and all that. He couldn't just send me a quote digitally. He had to probably mail it to me or call me on the phone and go, Eric, this is how much it is. I mean, either way, this is way more than what they're doing right now. What they're doing right now is no more than me or you are doing. We'll just put it out there to people and then they'll send the people to us digitally and they'll pay digitally. Nothing else to do. So I'm like, they're acting like they, okay, never mind. Let's get into all this. Yes, and Jonay, that's where this all obviously leads to. All right. In fact, I'm thinking about it depends. Right now, I'm playing nice. It depends on something. I sent post retirement travel. I sent you an email about something. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Are we on screen? Yes, we're on screen. Check this out. I'm not going to be on this too long, but this is going to affect your management. Here it is. 3 ways to make your property profitable. Short-term rental, 25% fee. Long-term rental, they allow you to do long-term rentals. You don't have to go through their property management. All right? Just remember that. Listen to this. A single accountable operator, like this is a good thing. Greater control over availability. Integration with the ecosystem. Larimar's brand and amenities drive to... Oh my God. They don't even have a brand. I'm like, they have pictures that looks like they have a brand, but after somebody walks in the room and sees how sparse these furnishings and neutral they are, and when they go out on their patio and they're like, there's no lounger out here with the umbrellas, what's happening? What's going on? Just those simple things. It's like, have you lost your mind? Centralized who cares? Airbnb is centralized. VRBO is centralized. Transparency and reporting. Reports on... listen, all this stuff that you're looking at right now is all BS. They don't even have an agreement in place to send us. They have nothing. This is all BS. This is all talk. This means absolutely nothing. other than they're promoting something that they don't even have right now, other than they know it's going to cost us 25%. That's their take on the gross. This other, here it is right here. Option one, short-term rental. Fee, 25% of gross income generated. And then they have nerve to put up here international marketing, revenue management, reservations management, guest support, check in and check out, cleaning supervision, maintenance coordination, owner, you know what? I'd rather have a keypad on my door. I'd rather have under my control Airbnb, VRBO, anybody else. I'd rather me have my own team that I know I'm paying 45, 50 bucks to clean my place. And I know I want to pick up a maintenance guy that can come in and check out my place independently of these guys. I'm not trusting any management company with any cost. So when I had my property manager, he would tell me, Eric, something needs fixed. I tell him, bring me 3 quotes. I need to talk to them. This situation right here, I have a feeling there won't be bring me 3 quotes. I'm going to talk to them. They're going to send me something going, hey, you know what? To fix whatever it is, this is how much it is. And knowing these clowns, they'll probably be like, and we fixed it. Knowing full well they didn't have to pay the person up front, right? So owner reporting, I whatever. All this stuff is this is easy. This is not 1980s or before that. This is 2026. I mean, this is crazy right now. This is real crazy. Okay, let's see what else we got. Here you go. Look, any one of us can do this. We all can be on booking.com. We all can be on Expedia. We all can be on Vacatia, Vacata. We can all be on, call up travel agencies that if they still exist, but we don't have to. You can get in touch with online travel professionals and say, hey, you want to add this into your inventory. Then you can make an iCal calendar. So all these can hook up that you see on the screen right now. So therefore, if one of these are booked, then it closes out the dates on all of them. This drives me crazy. Listen to this. OTA listing cost and commissions are separate and not included in the 25% management fee. At least they have some fine print down here. And ladies and gentlemen, Post-Retirement Travel can tell you all about the OTAs. Other people's getting your money. And also what they don't mention here, not only is the listing cost and commission separate and not including the 25% management fee, think about this. Let's say they have Stripe. Stripe costs 3%. They're taking that 3% out, just so you know. All right? The HOA, they're taking that out, just so you know. And if those OTAs, they get 5% or 10%, back in the day, we used to get 10% for hotels. In case you don't know, I used to own a travel agency. That's why I know. Here's the thing, though. They lowered it down to 5%. Airlines used to be 10%. Then they lowered that to 5%. So I'm assuming it's probably 5% at this day and age, I'm thinking. So now you're not just paying 25% for the other travel agencies. You could be, in some instances, paying 30% if the travel agencies kicked in for some of these. Not all of it, but some of it. So you have a blended rate. You could potentially have a blended rate, not just 25%, but your blended rate could be 27, 28%. Because remember, they're going to be running this through you know who, Sonesta or the James. They're going to be running it through their platforms. So that automatically means if you get the bulk of your rentals from that program, you're not paying 25. You're going to be paying 30% plus the transaction fees. Just so you understand. All right? This is not for the weak with this type of setup. These right here, I don't know how much Booking.com charges. The VRBO, I don't know what they're going to do with that because you have to pay an annual. Well, you should pay your annual fee. They're going to take it out of each. I don't know how they're going to separate it. I don't really know because you have so many. Oh, that's right. They're going to have a corporate account. So there's going to be an annually fee to add all the corporate the accounts on there. Expedia, relatively cheap, but you're not going to just be paying 25% if they're using all these places. Airbnb charges 3%, so that's 28 straight up. Okay, just think about this. Booking.com, VRBO, you're all these guys charge little fees, so your blended rate may be 28%. Best case scenario. It's probably gonna. That's probably what it's gonna end up being, around 28%. And you still. Now let's keep moving. I can't. I can't even. Here's what full management means: marketing, online travel agency, listing management, management of listings, photos and rates, campaign coordination. That's advertising. Oh, oh, that's bad. More fees. Inquiry response, booking and confirmation, pre and post stay support, whatever that means, check in, check out. And I guess if you stay there, yeah, people can call up. Cleaning and turnover, how much they're going to charge? Seriously. Preventive and corrective maintenance, that's not going to be cheap. Furniture and amenities. By the way, if you're going to be at Larimar, you can buy your own furniture. You don't have to buy their generic stuff. Again, the question then becomes, they have generic units, you have a cool unit. Are we all going to be charged? Are they going to charge the same amount? That's the $1 million question. Your unit looks off the charts. More people wants to book your unit, but you don't know if more people want to book your unit, do you? No, you don't. Clearly, it matters how your unit looks on photos, on Airbnb, on Expedia, on Booking.com, and all that. Post stay inspection, collections and payments, owner payouts, performance reporting. Okay, that's standard issue. Okay, from purchase to an apartment ready to rent. Purchase, reserve. Oh, wow, they threw in a purchase? Reserve from 2,500, flexible payment plan, deposit secured until delivery. That's cute. Here we go. Your property is worth more every year. Appreciation? Maybe. In real estate, fortunes are made at the moment of purchase. Yes, usually. What's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen, is ownership. But now, how do you own it? If you're going to, okay, first of all, if you're going to live there, and remember, if you live there, I don't really care about appreciation. There's reasons I don't. Other people do. Because you're paying to live there. You're paying the liability factors, the electricity, the insurance, the HOA. All that is liabilities. So by rights, the way I look at it, if I'm paying, let's just say I'm paying $300 per month, that means somebody comes to me later, 10 years from now, and I go, I've been paying $3,600 a year. Actually, it went up every year, but let's just say it's $3,600 a year for 10 years. So that's $36,000 that I actually paid into this, more than what I paid for the unit. So if somebody tells me, Eric, your unit's worth, let's say 250,000, that's great. And so that's how most people look at it. They go, oh yeah, I bought this for like 120. I get 250. That's 130,000, but it's not really. That's not the way I look at it. So that's the other thing about this. And we won't have to pay taxes. We don't even know if they have Confiture, by the way, which is another thing. Here we go. Up to 30% appreciation by delivery, buying pre-construct. Okay, yeah, that's probably about right. Now, they're talking about 7% annual yield, long-term rental. Uh, that's a 7% annual yield, long-term rental after delivery. They can't promise none of this. They can't even promise this. They don't even know how much. See, here's the thing. Just like you saw earlier, they can't even tell us how much it's going to cost, right? They don't even know how much the nightly rates are going to be. How are they even saying anything about 7%? Let's put it this way: 7% would indicate 7,000 a year for $100,000 rental. That means add on 25%. So that has to be, we're close to 10 G's. That's 95. But the blended rate's probably going to be 28 anyhow. So just call it 10,000. You have to make 10,000 in order to get 70. Well, let's forget about it. You have to make 10,000 at their 28% blended rate to make 7,000. The problem is you don't get to make 10,000 because now you're going to have other fees. You have your HOAs. So now that means your gross has to be even higher. Your gross is going to have to be 11, 12, 13, 14,000. So now you're going to be approaching something like $1,200 a year, right? Uh-oh. My old spot sent me something. I think I saw somebody talking about $215. Yikes. Our HOAs used to be $71 in my old place. If that thing is really $215, that's crazy. Okay, short term, fixed monthly. What's this? Fixed monthly fee. They're charging. What's this? What's this fixed monthly fee for long? Okay, whatever. Flexibility of use low, high. Guest turnover high. Profitability potential high. Yeah, of course, short-term rental is you make more money if you rent it out. Income stability medium. Yeah, long-term is always high. Owner involvement flexible. Minimal for that. Okay, that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of weak. That doesn't really tell anybody anything. And the 7% thing they're talking about is BS. I am not going to tell anybody you can do 7%. Okay, I'm not doing none of that. Miss per month. Uh-oh. What do we got here? Let me get this off the screen. Oh, I had this on the... Well, it doesn't matter. You guys saw it. Wow. When are you staying again? You own there, right? Yeah, I'm not staying there ever. And yes, it sounds like a condo hotel to me. Eric, you probably could have stayed at the beach project. No, I didn't want to stay at the beach. That's lawyers talk, exactly. SSN property management on DR. See, that's just it exactly. See, now you're hitting the head. You're getting right to the point, EV Place. That's exactly what I was going to do. That's why we had our SSN Lifestyle SRL sitting on the island. But now they have to give me approval, I have to be approved. So I can't just say I'm going to be SSN Lifestyle Property Management or SSN Property Management, create a company, do anything. No, they might not approve it. They might not give me written authorization. And the other thing they don't even know how long I would have to sign a contract. Is it year to year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? They don't know nothing. How long can I stay there? They don't know that. And they want me to pay them more, give me no ideas on anything, and lie to me about delivery. Sad. Okay, here we go. OTAs, there we go. Online travel agency. I hate those. That's the mafia after your money. They suck up a big chunk of our rental property in Orlando, and you have no control over that. Take it or leave it. Post-retirement travel is telling you the exact problem. So just like I said, you have 25% management fee from Larimar. Then OTAs, again, they could say 10%. Now you're at 35%. Generally, just so everybody knows, if you're in a condo and you have property management at 25 or 20, does not matter, you're probably going to be near 50% of the nightly rate. Or shall I say 50% of your gross. 50%. And sometimes it's going to be 40 to 50. And in this case, I believe we're looking at a 40 to 50, which is like condo hotels. Again, that's ownership, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, good luck, Americans. Number 2, ownership. It's mandatory or else you're going to get left behind. We're talking about Larimar right now in an hour in, so hopefully I talked about enough on the first half of this. But nonetheless, this is what we're dealing with out here. These guys, every one of these guys, I'm getting tired of these guys on the island. Everything they say is nothing but a lie. That's what it ends up being. All right. And they have other things going on that they're not telling people about. All right. So I'll just say one right now. Larimar is on the Spanish Stock Exchange. They're on something called BME. That's their stock exchange. It's like a growth stock exchange. So you would think that if you're going to put bonds up on the market, that you would go to BME, that you're on the Spanish Stock Exchange, and you would say, here, I want to sell bonds. But if you sell bonds, that means you have interest to pay bondholders, just like bonds in America. That's why people buy bonds in America. Bonds in America have went up. So people are going to buy more bonds from America to pay the 4.2 or 4.1 or 4.4. Right? Or maybe not. But the point is, they have to do the same thing. But because they're in Panama and it's $75 million offering, they might have to pay somebody 8, 9, 10% to get any money in. Or some people might say, we don't want to invest in your project. So now they're not getting the 75 million, they may get 5 million, 10 million. But it costs like 50 to 100 million just to do number one, phase one, let's say. It could be, let's say phase two could cost 100 million. Where are they going to get the 100 million from if they haven't delivered anything? So now it's like the chicken before the egg situation. They were out here making stories, lying to us, saying delivery was going to be in September, saying they were going to start building at the end of 2023. 2024 comes around, May comes around when we have the SSN Lifestyle Music Festival. They don't build anything. They didn't even start anything. That's when the gig is up. There's no way you're going to go from May 2024 and have delivery September or December 2026 or even July 2026. It's clear. You can't build in 2 years. Nobody's ever done it. They haven't either. It's that simple. They're trying to do some magical trick. And we have every operation in DR that had any type of 5 buildings, 6 buildings, anything of what they got going on has taken more than 2, 3, 4 years. So there was no way in hell anybody's going to believe that. And I still don't think they're going to deliver December 2026, let alone December 2027. I should tell you guys what AI said, but it's here nor there, but it is. Eric, what they would do if you will rent short term without their knowledge? Would they sue you? Ha ha. We all know how it works there, and it works both ways exactly. No, they won't sue you. What generally is going to happen if you do an unauthorized rental, they'll probably try to call you up, and you're probably going to be in some hot water of some sort. You know, I don't know how they're going to enforce it, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to allow you to have your own key code on the door. Because if they did, then there's ways around it. Let's just put it to you. I mean, there's ways around it. So what you're going to do is, I'll just tell you, in case anybody gets in these situations, what I would do, which I'm not, but if I would do, I would, when they say who's the family members, I would add the family member would be the management person. So then that way they can always come up there, check out the place. They can act like they even hang out there, which they can hang out there anyhow because they'll have ownership, rental rights. So that's what I would do. Illegally, I would just do it that way. I would just have it where I just have a person on the list who has a key, and they could let them in. Now, what's going to end up happening though is when you come in the building, they may see people with luggage and they're not checking in. So that could be a thing. So that would not be a way to do it. Because in the Philippines, that's how they do it. They have where you come up to the elevator, they have their front desk. So nobody can go by there with luggage. Let's just put it that. So, you know, so that's probably how they're going to set it up. So you won't have any way. So nobody's going to get past if they do decide to put people and have somewhat of a semi front desk area. There's nobody that's going to be able to pass through to get to the elevators. So, I don't know what you're going to do after that. But knowing how cheap these guys are, they're not going to pay people to sit there in the lobby. I know this for a fact, but still, we still have the thing. They're going to have cameras everywhere, people taking stuff out, and and they're probably going to make a check-in center. One of the offices nearby or at the front gate or wherever, they're going to have a check-in center. So that could be a thing too. So there's several things that they're going to do because you're going to have to go through the security gate, first of all. So, again, there's probably always going to be ways to do something because the next way you could do it is you could say, this is going to be my guest coming. But it's still going to be kind of funky trying to maneuver if you're not there. I will add 365 members of my family to the list. No, the list is going to be like probably like 10 people or so. They're not going to let you do that. Believe me, these companies, they know what they're doing. They're going to solicit the information from other people, other companies. Clearly, they've never done it. So they're just going to go see, Wyndham or whatever, man. They're just going to go see another company and get the information. They're going to be like, how do you block people from being able, and they're going to implement it. That's it. It's going to be very, very hard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to it. The bottom line to the story is I can't rock with these guys. I told you guys before, I don't mess with condo hotels. I don't mess with anybody that restricts me from being able to do my stuff. This is a restriction to me. And paying 25% and the online travel agencies, the OTAs, like post-retirement travel said, you could find yourself, because remember, these are boutique type, short-term rentals are boutique. A hotel is different. A hotel, they have contracts with, which, by the way, Margaritaville should have a contract for OTAs. But there's another problem because these online travel agencies have other factors. If I have an online travel agency, we got to pay, commission is 5%. All right. So if I want to make more money, or not me, but I have other people, then I'm going to charge you more than 5% because I'm going to say, hey, man, I need 7. I need 8. And by the way, they are negotiable because if you are a great short-term rental online travel agency, you have a bargain. When I had my travel agency, we had some premier stuff we're doing. The sales guys and the people would call up and be like, tradition, we're going to give you 10%. I said, not me. We do heavy business with you guys. You can negotiate. So I would get 15 to 20%. I wouldn't always get 10, but there would be hard. I can't bitch with somebody who says, hey, Eric, you only booked like 5 people the last year. So you got to, we're now 10% is where it sits. But that's how it works. If you send a lot of business, they're going to negotiate because you can shut them off. Quite frankly, wherever you want. This is why travel agents they get these fam trips where you go to places so they can kind of like, you stay there for free, you eat, drink, be merry. They show you the property. Now you can go promote it. Now, if you promote it heavily, all of a sudden, instead of getting 5%, you can get 8%. You get to negotiate, just like anything else when you're sending lots of people. So this is one of the things with Margaritaville. They have a lot of people want to stay at Margaritaville. So now they have a lot of things. That's why he hates it, because they got online travel agencies outnumber Airbnb, VRBO, Expedia combined, because they have specifics. So what I'm getting at is you have a list. So somebody went to, let's just say, Hawaii the previous year. They call up, they send you a message, they say, hey, I think I want to go in the Caribbean this year. So you're like, okay, check this out, Larimar City and Resort. So now all of a sudden, after you get them 20, 30, 40 bookings and stuff, but keep in mind, the online travel agency and the people that work with them, remember, this is network. One travel agency could have 2,000 people that are trying to make money by referring people to the properties they have. That's how this works. So now all of a sudden, they get a lot of bookings from this one agency, but the one agency now has a way to get more money because they're going to say, hey, I got to give my guys 5%. So all of a sudden, now you're at 35% because now they have to add an extra 10% for the OTAs. So that's why he doesn't like it. And guess what? Post-retirement travel, you get your statements. Are the OTAs the same amount every month? I already know the answer, but let people know. Are they the same amount? The answer is no, ladies and gentlemen. They fluctuate because all OTAs aren't the same. Even though most of them have a set deal, some don't. And Margaritaville is heavy. These guys book up. I mean, it's serious. And he gets the benefit from this. When they're doing 90, 95%, nearly 100% occupancy rates, that's a win for him. Big time wins. But he's paying a hefty price. But he's getting that high occupancy rate because he's paying the hefty price. You take away the OTAs, then it turns into a whole different ball game. Occupancy rate may not be 95 to 100 because at one time he had 95 to 98 to 100% occupancy. It still might be that way because Margaritaville is a whole nother engine altogether. So that is the things that you have to worry about if you don't have the occupancy rates and you're going to pay 30%, 35%. And your occupancy rate is 50. Hey, by the way, post-retirement travel, if you're still watching, what I want to know, and I always keep forgetting to ask you, what would happen if your occupancy rate went down to 50%? And what would happen if it went down to 35%? And what would happen if you had to, there's several questions. What would happen if your rental rate was 50%? See, I already know the 50% rental rate. That would be a major problem with a 25% management fee, which I think Margaritaville is probably in that. They're higher than that. But see, that 90 to 100% occupancy rate is off the charts. You can't pay as much for that. It's off the charts. I will add 365 members. Oh, man. We should make an app so neighbors in the same project can vote and decide on house project. No. You're going to have a management company. That means they're going to own the board as well. I'm just saying, the board the first year or 2 years is going to be Larimar board. If there is, actually, I don't even know if there's going to be an HOA. Well, no, there has to be because you're going to pay $2 to $3 per square meter. We should make an app so neighbors, if I move there, I will run the election for HOA on my project. Hey, man, have at it. No real structure, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It's best to be on the HOA board to at least try to get things done, and hopefully you won't get outvoted. That would be the best thing ever. Ever. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot something. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I got a little sidetracked with the Larimar situation. So that's how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So, all right. Enough of that. Blood is in the street with the stock market. You have every opportunity to get some more ownership of corporations, preferably the ones that pay dividends. That helps in this type of situation when stocks go down. Especially, you know what I always liked in this situation is real estate investment trust. But again, those are risky because I believe real estate's going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble. Margaritaville operations always try to negotiate with OTAs, but there is no guarantee. That's right. Best scenario is for renter returns. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what Margaritaville gets. Repeat customers. I'm going to tell you right now, with what Larimar is doing, I'm underwhelmed with everything they're doing. They're making this look flashy, but not going to deliver that flash. It's not going to be like, again, you guys already know, if you're new here, I do not like golf courses. Um, that doesn't mean anything to me really, other than it's another amenity, which does mean a few people will come and play golf. But it's a drain on HOAs. That's the problem. So unless you're going to make a big time golf course that's going to make people come, all that watering, all that drainage situations, the traps, and all that maintenance that has to be done is going to be charged to who? Congratulations. So what do? They make another golf course, a 9-hole executive golf course. And they take up valuable real estate by putting it on the Farallon. Unbelievable. They're going to offer memberships. That's great. But you're that's not, who do you think is going to be paying for that to upkeep of those two golf courses? One's an 18 hole, one's going to be a 19, and they're going to be water everywhere. That's another thing. Electricity costs an arm and a leg there. Think about this: $300-400 if you live there for a 1-bedroom unit a month, and that's with split units, not with central heat and air. That's crazy. That's absurd when you think about it. All right. Yeah, post-retirement travel. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They always try to negotiate. It all depends. It depends because the OTAs have to pay people, and 2%, 1%, that doesn't cut it. So it's very hard. But Margaritaville's on. That's a whole. They have their ecosystem. So again, anybody else who you're not Margaritaville, Larimar's not Margaritaville. Larimar doesn't even have an A-list company that's going to be helping them with their rental management. I mean, like, I hate to keep harping on these guys, but it is what it is. They're acting like this is amateur. This is amateur hour, quite frankly, what I'm watching. That's what I mean. This is seriously amateur hour. The reason why I'm saying this is because if if a Ritz Carlton, if a Marriott, if a Hyatt, um, if these names aren't up there, um, um, let me do this. I'm trying to figure out something. I don't. Oh, I don't have the star. Doggone it. I was. Here's what I was putting in right now. My keyboard is messed up. That's why you hear my keys tap 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 because the leather doesn't pop. I got to got to get a new keyboard or something. But anyhow, what is their occupancy rates annually? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this because they have their own locations. Yeah, they're not going to. Yeah, I knew they wouldn't. They're not going to disclose it. But here we go. Um, in prime urban locations, annual occupancy benchmarks for this tier generally stabilize between 65% and 72% under normal markets. That's the James Hotels and Sonesta. They're talking about their unit growth. So Nesta won't tell you. You have to have the star report from the hotels, then I'd be able to find out. Let me see. I can probably get it. But the point I'm trying to make is we don't know what Sonesta occupancy rates are. And I'm assuming they're using them or the James. We don't know because they're not going to tell anybody. So there you have it. For Puerto Rico, Sonesta Royale. Let's see if they have it in Puerto Rico, even though it's a territory. Nope, not public. Um, they're calling Sonesta, the Royal Sonesta in San Juan, they're calling that upscale hotel. They're saying between 68 and 75% annually. Even though on the island of Dominican Republic, it's not 68 to 75% for short-term rentals. Because remember, this is not a hotel, ladies and gentlemen. Sonesta's a hotel. People book hotels. Short-term rentals are not hotels. So if the hotel is getting 68 to 75%, you're more than likely going to be getting way less than that. And especially on an island that right now does around 34, 35% average across the board. That's not going to cut it. All right, I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Hotel occupancy is not short-term rental occupancy. So if anybody tells you otherwise, do not listen to them. Margaritaville is a hotel operation internationally. They have an ecosystem, just like a lot of places do. That's a huge difference. They're going to have a higher occupancy rates. So this condo hotel concept is not a thing. Just what I'm trying to tell you. All right, listen. All right, let's go. Eric, why don't you try to get a resale at Margaritaville? I hear there are owners selling for a good price and including all the furniture. They are turnkey and ready to start cashing. I know. That's what I'm looking at. I would be willing to look at Margaritaville, but Margaritaville, I mean, those things are now the thing you bought for 250 is now probably a 800 to $1 million. You were kind enough to share some of the times in years past what you were receiving monthly. And that rate means people could sell what you have for $1 million and nobody would blink. So, just saying. I'm now in the resale place, so that would mean I would pay more. So my ROI is going to be way less. But that doesn't mean anything because just so everybody understands, ownership matters. You could buy, here, listen, you could buy a duplex, a quadplex. You can get an FHA loan, put down 4% with a 580 or higher credit score. That's right. You'll have commercial property. Get a fourplex if you can. That's ownership. You live in one for a year. The other three you rent out. They pay your mortgage. After a year, now all of a sudden, you have cash flow. Very easy, very simple. And then it increases in value over time. But I believe there's going to, well, it's already started. There's a down market in real estate because the interest rates are going up. They're not coming down. Home values are going down, which now means people are going to sell at a lower price. And I would not advise selling because at this point, interest if you move to buy something else, the interest rate's going to be higher than what you have right now. For the most part. I mean, there's no way out right now. People have 2, 3, 4%, or sorry, 2, 3%, 3.5% interest rates with 20, well, I would 20 years, no, longer than that. Yeah, maybe 20 years to 15 years to 10 years left. You're going to sell something to go buy something where your interest rate's going to be 6? That makes no sense. And a higher price to boot? Makes no sense. You might as well stay in the house that you have at the lower rate and hope the market goes back up, or you're selling right now. But if again, this puts everybody in a matrix. It's gonna mess everything up. Really. All right, let's go. All right. I've got some people in the house. Hold on, I'm having problems with my scroller. Here we go. 809 for life. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. 809. Ain't that DR? I'm not sure. Eric, do you think Larimar will let you buy the Opine furniture package instead of the garbage package they're offering for 24K? Yes, they will. I've already confirmed. In the contract, it doesn't say you have to buy the furniture package. They will allow you to buy your own furniture pack, and but you have to rent through them. Or if they give you approval to use another management company, it has to be a written approval though. That's your only choice. Either they have to do it, or they have to allow you to rent with written approval to somebody else. So yes, it's already a thing. They already said you can. Again, the response was, it's not in the contract that you have to buy the furniture package from us. So yes, you can go to Opine Furniture and talk to Joel. Let them know you're part of the SSN Nation. By the way, that's key. All right, because you'll get one hell of a deal. And yeah, you know what? Here's the funniest part. If you said, and the only other question we have, 809 for life, is the one that matters. How much more do we get because our place looks much nicer? That's the thing. We don't get to dictate the market. See, that's where this goes. It's like if they say, okay, it's going to be a high season, it's going to be, let's say, 160 a night for their average looking place. And you say, well, I got loungers, I got an umbrella, I got this cool spot, and you're going to lump me in with the 165 a night? No, I should be getting 195 a night. But they may not look at it that way. I don't know how they're going to look at anything because they're not telling anybody anything, which is the worst place to be. And so that's where this sits. I don't know what's going to happen. They don't even know they don't even know how much they're going to charge. And again, you bring in Opine furniture, which is a total upgrade, total luxury, totally cool stuff. And then they tell you, well, we're just going to we can't charge more than ours. Or maybe they'll say, well, we'll charge 180. But it's not even your say. I don't think they're going to negotiate with you. Because with me, I'd be like, nah, man, your stuff is garbage. I got a premium price. I need to be at 200. If you're getting 165, I need to be at 190, 189. At least. I need to be, in high season, I need to be over 200. That's what I'd be doing. But see, I don't think we have that negotiate. They're not going to do that. They're going to stay within a range. Even though everybody's rented separately, which is a good thing. So now your view matters. Where you are in the building matters. All this is going to matter now. You're not in the rental pool. So you know who's going to get higher rents than others. Those that have ocean view. Those that can see over the city. Those are going to be the higher view. And if you can see water, those are going to get the premium prices and the premium view and the most amount of rentals. Just so you know. But again, we don't even know their structure right now. Partial ocean view, Farallon views, pool view. Because either way, you're going to have a pool. Well, yeah. Either way, you're going to have a cool view. Some people are going to be on the side of the building, come out on your patio, you can see the ocean. But because you're facing the other building, you got to be on your patio to see the ocean. So your unit, you're not going to be able to see the ocean. Some people are going to come out their unit, look downstairs, they see the pool. Some people are going to be on the first and second floor where they can be on their balcony or on their patio or whatever and see the pool because you have kids. But There's a huge but. The furniture package does not include any sofa sleeper. Not even the 45.5 package for the 2 bedrooms. So I'm assuming the 1 bedroom doesn't either. So once again, this causes a problem. If I'm getting a sofa, I'm getting a sofa sleeper so I can sleep 6. Plain and simple. We get more people in the unit, families, 6. That means we get to charge more. Because the way things are set up right now, if you do the furniture package through Larimar, it looks like they can only sleep 4. So that wipes them out of the. See, again, 4, Ocean View, Farallon View, 200, and let's call it 225 a night. The garbage package they have that sleeps 4, how much are they going to charge? If they go by their rate that they gave us, 165, 170, have at it. But they're going to tell me, oh, Eric, you can only charge one. We're only going to charge 195 or 199. I'm like, no, I would charge like 225 because my place looks cooler, is cooler. I have more stuff than you have, and it's going to show in the advertisements. Nobody else has this stuff unless they went down to see Joel at Opine. But see, at Joel, everybody has different tastes, so people are going to get different style, colors, everything's different. So even that, and how many people are going to go down to Opine and get their furniture? Let's get real. I would be willing to bet you if they had 100 rentals, I'd be willing to bet you 3 people. I'd be willing to bet. Because nobody even knows about them, really. Unless you're here in the SSN Nation. So 809 for life. Before you can do anything, and by the way, if you go through Opine Furniture, remember, it takes 90 days from your special request to come. Just remember that. It takes 90 days. All this stuff is special colors, special made, fabrics, stone on dining room tables, and all this stuff. You could choose all this stuff to make this cool. The unit itself is going to be small, intimate. So you want people when they're staying there to go, oh man, I feel comfortable up in here. This is you want to make things look accordingly, a little upscale. You don't want to clutter the place. But you damn sure don't want one sofa. You got to have other chairs. You got to have something. This 2-bedroom package doesn't even have any type of love seats. No chair lounger like situations I'm like, what the? I mean, fine. You want to sleep 4, then okay, 1 sofa is good. You want to do 6? I need at least another chair in there with the sofa, which is cool. You should have it. Make it happen. But you got to make sure it's cool, and it will be cool. Again, I don't know the dimensions on these places, which is another thing. They're not really forthcoming so you can make plans. So you're just going to have to go. A condo hotel is their last case scenario to break even on this project, in my opinion. EV Place, that's exactly what they're doing. That's why the overpriced furniture packages. They're trying to make up off of the furniture packages. There's no way the 2-bedroom furniture package shouldn't even be past 12 G's. That garbage rattan and all. Okay, look, I don't mean to call rattan garbage. A lot of people in humid and places use that. It's just that for rental, it's just too flimsy for me. I mean, let's get real. People are on vacation. I've been on vacation before. You guys have been on vacation. And sometimes you go out, you party. And I mean, you drink a little bit, you have a little fun, you're with your friends, and you come back to your unit and you may not be in the best of shape. So you just plop down on the couch. The couch is comfortable. You're not breaking it or anything, but you just sit down, you get some drinks and you're drinking and, you got your drink and you're setting it on the table. You don't have a coaster and, you got ice and, you're just having fun. There's not like you're doing anything wrong, but that's wear and tear. And the wicker stuff is so thin that somebody could just grab something and put their fingers through some of this stuff. I mean, it's just, the wearables. It's not a wearable if you're going to do high rental. Like if you're doing 70%, okay, 60% is a good clip. That would be 180 nights per year or more. So, I mean, and you got people staying 2, 3 days. Again, you got wet. You're in a wet environment. I got towels. I got beach. I got the pool down below. I got these beach club is stuff. Go down, get in the pool. Towels wet. You drape it over like they have them wicker chairs. People do drape towels over chairs. This is a thing. The wicker chair. It could happen. Somebody has their swim gear. They sit down in the chair. They lean back. They wet up your wicker. So I mean, I don't see how 180 days and I got 3, 4, 5 people staying in my unit. That's not going to hold up. I don't see how it holds up. Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe they have some sort of better wicker stuff. But again, I'm not a fan. No way, no how. Not if I'm doing 50, 60% rentals per year. You're gonna have to replace that stuff in 2 or 3. Do you want to spend $15,000 to $20,000 every 2 years? Seriously, that's what this is going to amount to. Believe it or not, they're not going down to. Well, I don't even know if they have Ethan Allen. Like I said, Ethan Allen is one of the best places. So you can also look at the New Margaritaville at Orange Beach in Alabama. Yeah, check it out. They are building now, and they are on the marina. Wait, is this? No way. No way. No way. Hold on a second. This can't be. This can't be. Okay, there's a story. If this is what I think it is, let me log in here real quick. There is an Orange Beach in Alabama. I had a property there, but it's a timeshare, right? The timeshare was by Holiday Inn. Let me go find out something. Orange Beach in Alabama. Is this same as Orange Beach HIVC used to have? Let's see if this is the same place. This cannot be the same place. Yes, it's the same place. Okay, so HIVC, Holiday Inn Vacation Club, called me up and they said, "Hey Eric, we're getting rid of our Orange Beach location, and since we're getting rid of this is like 10 years ago or something. We're getting rid of our Orange Beach location, maybe even before that, but I think it's been 10 years. So we're gonna. How would you like to have Orange? Uh, what's the one in Orlando? Orange Lake Beach or Orange Lake? What's it? I think it's Orange Lake, HIVC Orange Lake, whatever. It's in Orlando next to Disneyland or Disney World, sorry. And they have their own little, floating, what do you call that little pool area where you go around. They got it's cool, right? It's cool. They got 4 different sections to it: west, east, north, and all that. And they go, we'll give you a 2 bedroom unit there. We'll give you extra points. They gave me all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff. So they sold it. So now that you're saying that Margaritaville is at Orange Beach, I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. They would have had to tear that place down, which now it makes the timeline about right. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. They didn't still answer the question, though. Oh, man. That's too cool. That is too cool. Um, so that would take up space because they had a cool spot. All right. Well, that's very interesting, man. So how much is it? How much is it? Post retirement travel, you should have came with the receipts, man. Now you're gonna tease me again. On DR, I have a rule: stairs only in case of power outage. That's correct. I imagine crawling every day to the 14th Exactly, man. Hey, the 11, I have the Larimar unit's on the 11th floor. E. White has his on the 14th floor. That's a long way. 11th floor is a long way. And you know what? If there's a power outage, do you know how hot it's going to be in there? Oof, man. To walk up them stairs, ooh, that would be bad. That would be bad. You can Google Margaritaville Resort, Orange Beach at the wharf. Okay, phase one. Okay, don't tease me like this. I can't even believe they're doing that, though. I cannot believe they're doing this. Margaritaville. Oh, come on, man. At Orange. I don't believe this. Orange. Orange Beach, Alabama. At Wharf. Okay. 80-acre waterfront. Good God Almighty. This has to be the thing. Yep. It was like 10 years ago when HIVC gave up their spot. They must have had some of these acres there. So Margaritaville must have grabbed up some of theirs. Wow. Wow. This is funny stuff. My. Wow. What? Oh, I see. It looks just like every other market. This looks like the one in Dominican Republic. Well, they all kind of resemble each other. Yep. Margaritaville Resort, coming soon, real estate inquiries. Hell yeah, I want to know. Even though I don't like being in the tropical zone-ish. Hurricanes. It's overdue, man. Man, at least Orlando's in the middle. This thing, oh, they got a marina and everything. Wow. Opening late 2027. Where's the, oh, here we go. 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,681 square feet. Nice. 4 bedrooms, 4 bath. Resort condominiums. Hold on. Oh, grand condos, resort condos. Inquire about ownership. Okay, cool. I put my box in. They got all my info. I'm not going to miss out on two. I'm going to tell you that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. What would you say if you were able to buy Margaritaville at, let's say, 350,000 pre-construction? You know Ethan Allen's what they're going with, so you're going to have to pay about 60 G's for the furniture package. So let's just say you're $400,000 in. What if you knew that you could make, I'll use something light, profit wise, $6,000 per month, which would be $72,000 per year? What do you think you would do with 410,000? I'm just guessing they would do 350. I don't know what they're going to do. Might not even be 350. But the point is, if it's 400,000, is that a deal? The answer is pretty simple. 72,000 meets the criteria. That's after expenses and everything. That's what they're sending you a check for, $6,000 a month. Because that's realistic, actually. That's their realistic number. I'm pretty sure. And it could be higher. So just so you guys get an idea, we're going to make $72,000. This is how you figure out your ROIs. 72,000 is what we receive for the year. Divide that by, we'll call it 420 G's. Let's see, does this meet the criteria? 17%? Yes. That's a yes. That's a yes. So if you're all in for 420,000 and you make $6,000 and post-retirement travel can actually vouch and say, we can ask him, do you think 6,000 per month average, whether you make, let's call it December the end of December, January, February, March, April. So we go 4 months, $9,000 per month, $8,000 per month, reasonable. Then summer comes. Oh, it's on the beach. You know what's happening down there. So again, we still have high occupancy rates, but let's just drop it down. We make 7,000 per month for June, July, August, and then September comes, kind of. Then September, October, November, kind of slowish. So let's just say we make 4,000, 3,500, but the average, we still made 72 G's. Is that reasonable? I think it is. I think you're going to, okay, I'm going to do something else. Forget the seven. Let's say five. Let's say 60. That's still good. I can tell you right now because it's not 42,000. 60,000 we made divided by 420 G's. That's 14.28. So it makes it 14.3. We got to find out how much these things are. Because they have a marina there too. They got a little cachet going on. You guys do understand the marina's a cachet, right? Roads de Bavaray. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Very nice to see you once again. Good evening, all. I am here. Smash it. That's right. Smash that like button. That's what we got to do out here, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know what's going to happen. This is crazy. You got to love it. Post-retirement travel. I'm in it this time. Remember, I missed out on that last time when I told Margaritaville I saw it. Like I said, 250 G's, and I blew it big time. Because I didn't even realize, even though I've been doing this forever, I didn't even know what Margaritaville was. I've seen Margaritaville, but I never knew that they were like worldwide. I didn't understand their ecosystem. I just thought it was like, okay, Jimmy Buffett stuff, whatever. I never even stepped in a Margaritaville, ever. In fact, none of my friends ever told me come visit Margaritaville either. So I just figured, whatever. It's just a hotel project. Forget about it. Because I would never do it. A straight up hotel, but they have high occupancy rates. It's off the charts. 6 chairs, table on terrace, and premium package, but no sofa sleeper. Crazy. Oh, not only that, there's no sofa loungers outside on the balcony with an umbrellas. You should have at least 2, 3, 4 loungers. You have a 200 square foot deck out there. Exactly. Exactly. You got to have at least 2 loungers, but you should have 3 or 4 out there with a cheapy table. It could be plastic, whatever. But the fact is, you should have sun loungers out back on the deck. You should have that big table to eat out there. You should have a lot of things, quite frankly, but you have to have the umbrella. 1 or 2 of them. I mean, the only problem I'm going to have is there's no place to put them if there's a storm. So these guys don't look like, to me, right now, that they have a storage space on the deck. See, again, this is what happens when you have people that aren't designing condos like luxury condos. If I was on their A team and they actually listened, then they would have built in some storage so people can put their loungers, bicycles, things like this. They would have put that on the deck. Why build me if you're going to build me a 200 and let's call it 30 or 40 square foot deck, I would rather have 20, give me my little 5x5 area or something. 5 feet wide and go up 10 feet or 7 feet so I can slide something in there. 5 feet deep, 5 feet wide. That's big enough. And make it on the deck so it has a door to it. Something, something, man. Because now one of the problems with these places, condos, is no matter where you buy, is that where your stuff, bicycles, the electric boards, electric scooters, mopeds, which you would not bring into your unit anyhow. But the point is, where you're going to put these extracurriculars, surfboards, I mean, a bunch of stuff. You live by the ocean, so people are going to have all kind of things, swim items, like if you have snorkels, all kind of things. Yeah, it's crazy work, EV Place. The premium package for 45.5, you don't even have patio furniture. Crazy. You don't have sofa sleepers. Crazy. You don't even have inside your unit in your living room. You don't even have an extra love seat or another seating area besides a sofa. Crazy for 45.5. Ludicrous. Ludicrous. Post-retirement travel, the render is looking amazing. I need to take a trip up I-95 towards Alabama. Phase 1 has better prices and appreciation will be awesome. Phase 1. You have the prices or not? What are you doing, man? You holding out on us? Come on, man. You seem to know what the prices are. You gonna drop it? Come on. Hold on. You know what? We have Google these days. What am I doing? I could just find out. We have AI. What am I doing right now? Let's just do AI. Ask AI. Let's go find out what's happening. Oh, no wonder. Okay. I want to find out about 400 total offerings, including 150. Okay. Okay. Let's go see. Let's go see. Hey, you know what's funny? Here's the funny part. We should get pictures of Margaritaville. Oh, oh, doggone it. It's more than I want to spend. It's 497,000 for a one bedroom to 528,000. Amenity few residences. 604,000 to 607. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it for units in higher floors. Wow. They're 811. Wow. That's a nice size. 800 square feet for a one bedroom. That's huge. But that does us no good because the two bedrooms are $740,000. Then it goes over $1 million. Yikes. HOA. Oh, oof. Ouch. $943 per month. Oh, they're doing Vegas stuff now. $943 per month for a one bedroom unit. Up to $1,761 per month. Woof. Oof. 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 Ouch. Each. Ouch. Oof. Luxury waterfront corner stacks and premium top tier units reach up to $1,658. Hey, you know what? Here's what's going to be very interesting right now. Because I just, out of curiosity, I want to see what it looks like. What does it look like right now? Let's see if I can get some pictures up. Because I want to see this. Because this is going to be funny. They're going to deliver, if I could. No, we don't have pictures. Oh, wait, we have pictures. We have pictures. We have pictures. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. This funny stuff right here. Let's see. We have pictures. This is Rayburn General Contractors. Let's see how old these. I'm looking for a new picture, though, not an old picture. All right. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm having too much fun. You guys know I love real estate. This is June 17th. Okay. 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 I don't you guys can't see this. Hold on a second. Let me find out something real quick. Let me find out something. Great progress, Orange Beach, the wharf. Okay. Okay, here we are. We're inside the big boys. Gulf Shore. Okay, I'm gonna show. I can't use this, can I? No, I can't. All right, let's go. We'll have a little fun. Real estate section, ladies and gentlemen. We're into the real estate game. It's my favorite, quite frankly. I keep trying to get in the real estate game, but these guys keep messing up. All right, here we go. Oh, stop. Okay, here we go. Check this out. Yeesh. You're not going to hear anything, though. Okay, here you go. Where's the video? Let's go. Let's roll. Oh, it's not working that fast. I is just going to get. They're using steel. Okay. I like it. They're using the perfect weather. They're doing a little differently. They use cement and steel. All right. That's June 17th. There's not going to be anything I do is not going to be. Oh, wait, let's go. You're not going to hear any sound.
If I had to tell everybody the
Sounds turned
vision
off.
for the next 25 years, as excited as we are about the
This
future,
is
we're not
August
going to let go of those
25,
roots
2025.
of the success factors
Okay.
that really
I'm not
identify
going to show
who
you.
we are. Yeah, I mean, right now we are.
All right. Because I can't tell what the original date is. So since I can't, we'll just, because they're saying they're going to deliver in a year and 4 months. That phase right there. So we're going to find out. Okay, here we go. With the Margaritaville property on the right location inside the best project phase, you're looking at anywhere between 3K to 9K per month, depending on the unit. Exactly. Exactly. These guys have an ecosystem that is unmatched. We're going to Georgia next week to check on our property. We may swing by the Margaritaville property and check out the area. I'm doing more research now. Yeah, you mentioned phase one, but it looks like they're into the 400s or 497s or 480s, 490s, 500s for the one bedroom. That's significant. But there's a marina there. That changes everything. Wherever there's a marina, that changes everything. Prices cost more. Eric, I don't think a patio set umbrella isn't needed on the balcony of Prime Tower. The above floor balcony will give you shade. Uh, yeah, that's true. It could. But remember, we're facing we're facing we're kind of facing north. It's like a northeast. So, well, for me, remember, we're on the front. So that means on sunrise, we got sun. And then when we get, you are right, around 12 noon, in theory, it should cover it. But I still like it nonetheless. I think you should have one. But you're right. But you definitely should have loungers. But for me, I would still have them out there just for aesthetic's sake. Just to say. But you are right, I think. It might cover it. It might. I don't know. Damn, yes, that's steep. If you're going to spend that much, you could buy a resale at Margaritaville, Orlando. Exactly. You know what? You know what? We don't have nothing to worry about. If I want to buy at Margaritaville, there will be a downturn, T minus 1 year. All right? It's already started. So that's why he's saying right now, he's right. On the resale markets right now, it's soft. And especially in Florida. So because the new buyers have to buy at whatever the interest rates are now. See, that's the whole big difference. And now it rose a little. So now people are like having to pay more, and people have gotten their real estate deals, people have backed out of them. So again, there will be opportunities in real estate. And in fact, there'll be opportunities at Larimar. There'll be opportunities on the island, because I anticipate next year this time we're going to be talking about a whole different animal with regard to real estate, and that also impacts the island. People going over there to invest and traveling over there is going to be even more expensive. In case anybody hasn't been paying attention, the Suez Canal, the Houthis have started cutting that off. 70% of the world's oil supply is at risk right now. This is what happens when you have DEI hires that don't know nothing. You hire trust fund kids. That's what you get. All right, we're getting what we voted for, and it's going to cost dearly. This is why you need your ownership. Good luck, Americans. Number 2. I'll have a Good Luck Americans number 3 on Friday. We'll still be talking ownership, but we'll get a little more deeper. There's other things as well that you're going to have to look at as far as protecting yourself. If you start anything, if you own anything, asset protection has to be number 1. So you have to figure out how you're going to protect your assets that you have, because people are going to try to take them without having to work for them. So just keep that in mind. You want to have a 401k, create one for your business. You can write the rules. You can do a 3% match at the end of the year for whatever you put in for when you pay people, which you could be an employee. So therefore, you can have a 401k by yourself. You can have a 401k for your corporation. 2 for 1. All right. A solo 401k or corporate 401k or both. If you have an LLC, that works. You can have by default. If you're married, then your wife is by default an employee, so she can also be the beneficiary of being in your company 401k. Just saying. Ownership. So this way, you can actually put in your brokerage accounts. You can set up what you want to invest in, not pay any fees, which again, the minimal fees that our guys, VGT, VTI, VOO, that's Vanguard Group, less than 1%, but let's just call it what it is. You put something in there 10 years, that's 10% of your money's gone. You can even mirror, you can set up your own, you can go down to the Vanguard Group and say, yeah, I like VOO. You can mirror the stocks, because you can buy partial stocks now. You can mirror that type of investment. It's known. If that's what you want to do, you can just mirror it. But then you got to stay on top for when they sell stuff and do whatever they're doing. But the fact is, you can get similar returns. Maybe not the top, let's say they got 14 or 12. You might get 10, 10 and a half. But, it is what it is. But you own it, though. It's not sitting over at VOO. I don't know if any of you recall, but you know what happened with the pandemic, that people weren't able to get redemptions. All right. And without a pandemic, there was something that happened last year. I can't even remember what it was, but no redemptions. So all of a sudden, again, you don't have access. And once again, that 401k is with somebody else. You own it, but again, you want to own something. That's partial ownership, at least. You're not beholden to anybody other than that brokerage account. But things can happen with a brokerage account too. It's rare, but it can happen. All right. I'll see you guys on Friday, I hope. Hopefully, I will be on time, which I should be, because that security system situation I've been dealing with for 3 days, we finally got it fixed. So, finally got it worked out. Everything's operational, is 100. So we're good. So now I should not be late on Friday. So hopefully I'll see you guys here at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be Good Luck America's number 3. We'll get a little deeper into some ownership potentials, such as company structures. Because again, if you have ownership, you need asset protection. There's several maneuvers that you need to do to make sure you have that asset protected, your corporation's protected, and your place of business and place where you live needs to be protected. Because anybody can do lawsuits. And you got to make sure you're shielding your assets from lawsuits. It's that simple. And we'll start right now with one. Like, for instance, if you do real estate, you should have, your company should own your real estate. There's no lost benefit in America. You put them in an LLC, one in an LLC, not 2, 3, 4, 5, one. Have an LLC for one. That's it. Don't do what a lot of people would say, yeah, put 2 or 3, and no. It's each property, separate LLC. It's very simple. It just basically protects the limited liability part. It doesn't go beyond the LLC. It bleeds into your assets that you personally own. All right? So that's what you're trying to avoid, because you didn't structure up your personally owned assets the correct way either. So therefore, at least you have one line of doing it. So that's just one thing. All right? Then you put a lot of people will say trust, I say holding company, right? That's what I always say. So, because you might buy another piece of property, so that'd be property number 2. And you have a holding company, and therefore you also have tax avoidance, which is not illegal. Tax avoidance is based on, because now you have a structure set in place where you'll be able to take taxes or take taxes off and it'll be reduced. So you can set up several things. We're not going to talk taxes because I'm not even a tax expert. I'm not even I'm not a financial planner or advisor or anything like this. Accountant. I'm none of those. So you're just going to have to Google it yourself, or shall I say AI it yourself, or go talk to an attorney. There's plenty of them around that will give you your 10 to 15 minutes of fame to be in front of them. All right? Go on and get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. I'll see you on Friday night, and it's going to be big boy talk on Friday night, and we're going to talk about some of these assets, that ownership pieces that you own, that you also, that I mentioned tonight, that you should have in a company as well. Just so you understand the assignment. All right? Any asset that you make money from should be in a corporate structure. Not any, but a lot. All right? I shouldn't say any at all, but there's quite a few. You need protection, especially when you're winning, especially when you're accumulating other assets. You don't want things bleeding into other assets in case there's a lawsuit. Then all of a sudden they go, well, this was shared. These are shared. These are the same things. They're not even in a company at all. So somebody slipped and fell. Now they're looking for you, your liability personally. So it works both ways. Inside a LLC, that liability stops most of the time. All right, let's go. I'll see you guys. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support. I love real estate talk. I can talk for hours, but this is it. We're done. 2 hours and 40 minutes. And even Instagram didn't boot me off. This is awesome. Just go to findhelp.org, everybody. Before you forget, findhelp.org. Go check it out if you're in the United States. Put your zip code in. And remember, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen. And it's only going to get harder as far as expenses go. Okay? Go during the week shopping. Tomorrow, you should go to the grocery stores, right? Midweek sales. Do not go on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, all right? They're usually jacking you on those days, even though now people aren't buying as many groceries as before, so they started doing some in-house sales. But midweek is the best time to go, in my opinion. Okay, don't forget the digital deals and all that at the grocery store. Make sure you're shopping efficiently. Take your time, because now the more money you save, it's better, because it can get worse and it will get worse. If you don't think it's bad enough already, I got news for you. It's going to get worse. So your ownership and everything you accumulate from now on is going to matter. And hopefully you're thinking about the return on your investment. Ownership matters. It's mandatory, or else. And with all that said, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. I can't say that enough. Smash that like button. But just be safe out here, because a lot of people are under stress and duress, and you just never know what somebody's going to do these days. Simply, I saw a video today, and a guy is simply sitting in first class. So the black guy walks up. He opens up the top to put his luggage in, his carry-on. The lady sitting in a chair in her seat tells the guy, "You're not sitting here." I'm like, what the heck? So apparently, as she's saying, "You're not sitting here," he's going, "Yeah, here's my seat." As it turned out, if initially I just thought she meant the seat that was open next to her. Come to find out, the stewardess comes up and he shows her the ticket, and she says, "Ma'am, you got to get out of the seat." I was like, what? What kind of nerve is this? The woman sitting in his seat saying he can't sit here. I thought she was talking about the seat that's open next to her. Come to find out, it's his seat. "Ma'am, you got to get up." She's like, "What? Me? Who? What?" I was like, this wasn't even a skit, because it was recorded by other people on the plane. I was like, this can't be for real right now. I'll give kudos to the guy. He stayed calm. He said something like, "I can't believe it." "Are you serious?" Right? And then the stewardess came up and said, "Ma'am, you got to move." I was like, oh my God, this is what we're dealing with out here now. People sitting in other people's seat blatantly and telling the other person, "You can't sit here." This is what we're dealing with out here. We got so much mental health issues. It's insane. But just remember, not everybody acts as nice as that guy. It could have escalated before the stewardess came down the aisle and the guy was being nice enough. But this is what I'm talking about. You just never know what people are on. It seems weird. I'm like, what are you drinking? It's crazy. But just be careful out there. And no matter what you do, before I go, I haven't played one of these in a while, so I got to play this.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. SSN Lifestyle. That's right. We'll be back. And by the way, I'm trying to figure out something. I've been delayed for doing this magical project, right? And I'm trying to figure out. I have one last thing not one last thing. There's so much stuff that's already figured out that's off the charts. But the thing is, I'm trying to figure out how I can bring along the OCs. If I can do some ownership stuff, if I can do something where you guys can join in on the fun, and I'm gonna have to figure something out, because I After I've been doing this for so long, this is going to be so huge. It's going to be epic that I can afford even. I can afford to bring people along. But I'm trying to figure out what vehicle I can use so you guys would want to come along and be a part of this conglomerate. So just be safe out here. And no matter what you do, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.